All right, well, I won't take up much of you guys' time. I just want to let you know about a network we formed in 2010. My name's Tim French, and I founded A.N.T.S, which stands for Americans Networking to Survive, and it's a network of preppers helping preppers. So just as you might help your neighbor down the street during a disaster, we help our members in the cities and towns and states around us. And we do this by relaying supply pods, which are just 5-gallon buckets full of requested supplies to any member that needs them. So we're basically a backup plan for your backup plan. So we know all of our members are preppers, they have supplies, but a lot of us think that the disaster's not going to hit us directly. So what happens when your supplies get wiped out? And that's where we step in. So if you're a member of A.N.T.S, there's no cost to join, and everything you do is voluntary. We have a website at americansnetworkingtosurvive.org. If you get a chance, go there. I got some flyers I lay out here on the table. Tells you a little bit about our network. Like I said, there's no cost, there's no requirement. You don't have to do anything. The website will tell you how it works. We have some simple guidelines we go by, which helps us all stay on the same page because we don't know each other. It's basically most of our members have never met. We won't meet unless we have a disaster. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I have members that I have met, and I have other members that I haven't met. And it's because people like their privacy. And so we have a method where you can put an icon on the map, but it doesn't mark your home. It marks a location somewhere in your town. And that's how we find each other if we can't make contact. So if you're in a disaster, you'd have two options. One, if you had communication capabilities, you would just contact our group, or you would text me personally, or go to our Facebook or Twitter pages, any way that you could get through, and you would say that you were in a disaster zone and needed some supplies. The other way you get help is if you do put an icon on our map, and say you were in the Gulf Coast during Katrina, and a member was outside of that area, he would know that by that map that you lived in that area. And he would put a notification in our group saying, I'm going in to look for this person. And that's where those markers come in that I was explaining to you. It's not directly in front of your house, but it's in your town. And I can't really explain it to you here in person. You kind of have to read about it. It's very simple. But it's a way that you can have somebody look for you if you can't even make contact, which was the case in Katrina. And if you had supplies down there in that flood, I'm sure they would have got wiped out at that time. But we'll do any disaster. Any request can be made. There's no guarantee that the person will do it. It's all voluntary. There's no A.N.T.S officers. There's no A.N.T.S leaders. There's basically 4 jobs that we have listed there that you can volunteer to do. And so I'm on the same level as everybody else. I don't make any money out of this. I do have advertising on my website that helps pay some of the costs for the web hosting, but there's no money that I'm making there. It's all voluntary. I'm volunteering just like anybody else. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. And I appreciate your time.
One thing I'd like to add to that, and the only reason that I actually wanted him to step up, I dig it, but there's no, I don't think you mentioned it, there's no membership fee to get on this, to step up. All it is saying that you're here. If you see a problem or it comes up, nobody's contacting you, correct? Or explain that. You don't have to help if you don't have the possibility of help.
What will happen, say, if you were in a certain area and I saw that you hadn't, normally when there's a disaster and we have a member inside that area, they're supposed to make contact and say, I'm okay. And they'll either do that online on our map, or they'll go to their spot where they said they would have a marker where they mark on our map with an icon, and they'll leave a green marker there. And so I might not never see his house, but I'll go there and see that marker. It's green, he's okay, I leave, that's all I do. But if I go there and I see that he's left a map on the bottom of his marker, which makes just a stone or something turned over in an intersection, that he's marked on that map, and it'll have a map to his house. And then I'll go to his house, I'll pick up a supply list from him, he'll tell me exactly what he needs. He won't have to worry about whether somebody brought the right item or not. He's gonna say, I need this size, I need this food. And we don't do generators and big things like that. Everything's delivered in those 5-gallon buckets, and we do that because we're doing a relay system. And so we need to know how many buckets will fit in the smallest car. Say today I'm with my wife's car, I can hold about 17 buckets. So you wouldn't want a truck showing up with 20 buckets going into a car with 17. And so we know the size of the bucket, and that's the reason we do that. Plus, people use them for other things. When they open them up, they can use them for anything they want. You know.
I thought that was an important point to make, that, I mean, if I'm in that vicinity and this guy needs food and I don't have any to spare, I'm not obligated to give up my stuff. Yeah. But if I do have it, I can.
Yep.
Okay.
And
it doesn't cost anything.
That's exactly right, and it's set up so that one person's not bearing the load. You might have 5 people in that relay. Each person's going to put 1 bucket in there. So you have supplies. Most people can live with losing 1 bucket of supplies. We don't accept any money. We don't take any money to anybody. All we're doing is helping you, which you're already prepared. So you just need a little help because you lost your supplies to get back on your feet. And normally we'll bring enough for 2 weeks, and then we would recheck with you if it's a long-term situation like Katrina. But it could be a tornado or a smaller disaster. But typically those disasters have enough local support that you wouldn't need us. Unless for some reason you couldn't get any help at all.
Have you ever activated the network for any?
Yeah. We had Moore, Oklahoma tornado. We went through there. We had 2 members there, and I haven't explained how it works yet, but I became the lead person in there, and then I passed it off to a local person there that was inside that area. His house got hit, but he was okay. We couldn't make contact with the other person. They were actually tweeting out. They have a Twitter account. They were telling about the tornado, and it just went off. We didn't hear nothing from her. So 3 days went by. We couldn't find her. He went to her location to look for a marker, but nothing was there. And so he never did make contact, and she finally did contact us on her own when she was able to. And she was okay and able to get through it.
That's awesome.
But we changed our rules at that point by what happened during that one incident. Now that's how the green marker came up, that you leave a marker at that location.
Oh, okay.
Because he had to go back. He didn't have to, but he went back twice. And he had to walk there, which is a long ways. Because he couldn't get into the neighborhood at first. He had to find somebody that lived there to get in there. So you have to be flexible. You're not going to get normally into an area right away. Normally when the churches go in, you can go in.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. If you